together like this. Perfect. I'm just so appreciative of all of your time and just being together. And I thought this would be very special to be able to, to be able basically to just see how it is when you help someone many, many years ago, or you're being helped many years ago, and what happens many years down the road. So Tyler, I've got some questions for you. And, this is exciting. Looking back, it's been 15 years now for the Doors of Change music program. For the first time you take music lessons. And Jen was your instructor. Now Autumn was your instructor. And so looking back, can you please share what it was, what the lesson that Autumn gave you, looking back, what it really has done for your life?
And it actually, that first night when I first went into the storefront, I don't know if you remember, Jeffrey, but that first night was the first night when I went, and it was a music night that night when I went. And it gave me a release that night to learn, to pick up an instrument and learn that I could find a path to express myself, especially for all the trauma I was going through and all the depression and everything that I was going through. Music was a great outlet. So, and then learning from that, with the help from Autumn, music and learning an instrument taught me how to be patient and to stick with something until you follow through all the way till you learn it, and be consistent at something without giving up.
Wonderful. What do you remember about Autumn looking back? Because, it's been, again, 15 years. But I remember like yesterday, the first day you got into shelter, and it was a Tuesday night, and we had the music program, and she was your instructor. So what do you remember, over the next 6 months or 8 months when you were together? What do you remember about Autumn?
That she was one of the big reasons why I look forward to Tuesdays, to music night. Because she made it always so much fun. We would learn music, and we'd get together and we'll talk, and we would jam out and just get into our own little world, our own little bubble of, nothing on the outside world could affect us right now for that hour and a half, or how long we were together. And there's just, that day was always a day we always all looked forward to because it was such an amazing time.
Looking back, Tyler, how did the lessons that you had in the Doors of Change program, especially the music lessons, how did it affect your trust?
It showed me that someone can be consistent in my life. Night, every day we would worry about who's going to be in our life, who's coming in and out. And then Autumn would show up every music night consistently. So if we needed to talk to somebody, I could be like, hey, I could talk to her, or we could just play music, and she was just there for us. And I knew that if I was having a bad day or a bad week, I can always go on music night and vent or express myself, and she would be there just to help us out.
So as a result of you learning guitar and also piano, I remember, how really, looking back, has that really had an effect on your life now, many, many years later?
Oh, it affects me. Let's see. The lessons that I learned from learning those instruments and continuing after I left Storefront and Doors of Change and no longer was going to the music program, but those lessons that I learned, I apply them to my life outside of where I was at. So now, like in my professional career, you take the lessons I learned how to stick with something and learn and don't get frustrated, but continue to push forward. I took that and ran with it, both my careers, so my security career and then where I'm at now as a dispatcher. They're both really taxing careers, especially the one where I'm at now, where you have to pay attention, you have to focus, and you have to be consistent in something so you don't hurt anybody, right? So the lessons I learned from that, I applied to them, and applied to my job now. So now it's applicable to me being successful in my career now.
You know, there were a bunch of youth that were in the program together. Looking back, how, you know, what do you remember that stands out with the Doors of Change music program in whole?
There's no color. The color, well, I wouldn't say there's no color. It's actually the brightest rainbow you can see, because it doesn't matter if you're black, you're white, your sexual orientation, who you are, where you come from. It is a very, very even field for everybody. Anyone can come, anyone can do it. We will take you in, and we will help you change for the better. There's no, I don't see black, I don't see white, I don't see, you know, Asian or anything. I see a person, a living being that needs help and needs some comforting. And that's what I take from it. That's what I see from it.
I remember very distinctly that on the 19 years I've been doing this, you were the only youth we've ever had that literally came back after you were out of the shelter. Every Tuesday night, it took you 2 hours on a bus and a train to come back, or a trolley, to come back to the music program to teach other youth. Can you talk about that? What motivated you to do that?
Our instructors, they came back every night or every Tuesday. They didn't have to, Autumn didn't have to come back every week and teach us. We, from our standpoint, we're just a bunch of, you know, homeless kids that were going through, or, you know, we got kicked out because of our sexual orientation or drug problems from our family. You know, why do we deserve a person that's not in that situation, but they're giving back to us to help us grow? So with them doing it, they set a great example for me, because when I came to Storefront, I was 16, turning 17, and they were adults. You know, they're grown-ups. They have their own careers. They have their own things. So they set a really great example. So I wanted to start my life as that, because when I left Storefront, I went into an apartment with my mom and my brother, and then we started growing. So if I start giving back from when I changed and give back, that's just going to motivate other people. Hey, I did this because the person before me taught me and showed me the right way to do it. So now I'm paying it forward. So now I'm in a position where I can come back and give back. And I wanted to keep doing that so I can show them, hey, you can do it. I was just here, like in the very beginning, I was just here 5 weeks ago. You know, 2 weeks ago, I was just here, but I'm still coming back. Why? Because they helped me succeed. So why wouldn't I give back to something that helps succeed? Why wouldn't I pay forward on something that's been working? So with Autumn and the other instructors, they set a great example for a teenager. And now with where I'm at now, 18 years later, I'm still pushing or paying it forward to people that are under me. Hey, you started out, it's very hard, difficult, but you can keep going because I was there, I'm there now. And then this is where I'm at. You know what I mean? So ever since I was a teenager to where I'm at now, if they didn't set those goals and set a precedence of, hey, we can do this, because if you set your mind to something and commit, you can continue to be successful. And starting from where I met them and where I'm at now, it's just succeeded. I've succeeded in life. And that's why I kept giving back. And it just keeps going and going and going. Any career that I'm in now, or any project I apply myself to, it's those basic fundamentals that they taught me when I first came, and I'm doing now. And that's why I started paying it forward then, and that's why I keep continuing to pay it forward now.
Wonderful. Tyler, we've known each other over 15 years. When you look back and see the whole program that Doors of Change did for you, the mentorship, the music and art program, all the different things that we've done, how the Doors of Change now, how really had it affected your life looking back now of you being very successful in anything you've done?
I almost kind of answered the same question, didn't I? That one?
Well, it's the whole program. not only the music in our program, but the mentorship we've given you over the years, all the different stuff together. How has that affected you, looking back?
It's almost the same feeling is that without the mentorship, I would never have the tools to succeed as an adult.
Mm-hmm.
Even after I left Storefront, I was still with the charity, and the mentorship that you've given me and the other people in the charity, without those stepping stones, I don't think I would be where I'm at now without having been taught that stuff. So how to be responsible, the one thing that you always keep telling me is, hey, how much are you putting away in savings? No matter how much you make, always kick a little to savings. And I'm always kicking it. So.
And tell us how much you got in savings right now.
That is no. That's private.
You should be proud. You should be proud of it.
It's almost 16. It's 16 something right now. So.
At your age, they have 16,000 in the bank in savings. Probably 10% of people in the United States, your age group, have that. That makes you very special.
And that doesn't even include my 401k.
That's exciting. Tyler, I want you to share with Autumn, since she really hasn't seen you for at least probably 15 years, I want you to go through, share with us the successes you've had in your life since leaving Storefront, since you've been on your own and being self-sufficient, from the security to Petco Park being recognized to all the stuff you've done. Can you share that with us, please?
I haven't changed one bit. So let's see. I haven't actually thought about this in a while. So when I left Storefront, I went to go work for Elite Security, which is the special event security here in San Diego. I worked for them. I got promoted at 19 to a supervisor, and then at 21, I got promoted to a manager. And I was working special events, big concerts, and I went and did the Pro Bowl. I worked the Super Bowl. I went up to San Francisco, worked the Super Bowl there. I flew to Miami to open up working for the Miami Dolphins for Elite. And then I was working for the Padres for security for them for special events through Elite. And then I got recognized as an Employee of the Year there. What else did I do? And then I got hired on at AMR, American Medical Response in San Diego, who's the 911 provider for ambulances in San Diego County as a dispatcher. And then I've been there for the last 5 years. And I recently got promoted to associate supervisor there. So, and we do 911 calls and interfacility transports for San Diego County and Imperial County. So, yeah.
Outstanding.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
It's really a true Rocky story, a true life story. I was in the field with him when he was recognized by 25,000 people at Petco Park. And I was bawling my eyes out.
To be proud of. That's outstanding.
Yes. Tyler, what was it like when we were speaking at a function and the guy looked at you and said, "I'm going to give you my truck"? And he literally on the spot gave you his truck. It was the first car you had. Talk about what the ripple effect of that was.
Oh man, that accelerated my life and my career path. So you know how I went back and forth on the trolley and the bus to go to the music program? That's the way I got to work, was on the bus and trolley. And it's very limited because the buses only go to certain places. So having my own mode of transportation let me go to events earlier, and it showed initiative to my company. Hey, I can get there on my own. I can set up. I can be there. I could be there before the main event starts, and then they started seeing me more and more and more, and then they promoted me, and they saw that I was responsible in things, and it gave me a chance to show that, hey, I can be a leader. Put me in that spot. I can do what you need me to do, and that just elevated and escalated my life so rapidly. And it was just such an amazing feeling. And the fact that some guy just wanted to give me a truck is like a weird thing. No one ever wants to give us more than like $1 from where I came from. So
Where was that? Can you just take us back to that since that we weren't there? Where was that and how did that come about?
that was, I went and spoke at a function. Jeffrey, correct me if I'm wrong. It was a guy's house. Like,
Yeah.
It was a nice house, big house. And we went to go speak. I went to go speak for Jeffrey on behalf of the charity and show, hey, this is, if you're willing to donate or you've been donating, this is where it's going, and this is one of the kids that's helping. And I told him my story, and he was like, what's the biggest thing that you need now? And I was like, I just need a car. I need to go back and forth. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I need a car. And he was like, you know what? After hearing your story, I'm gonna give you my truck. I was like, that's a lie. And then he's like, here's my car keys. And I was like, okay. And then he's like, you come pick it up in like 2 days. And I met Jeffrey 2 days later, and we were in front of his house, and he had bought a brand new truck. And then he had his old truck, which was not old. It was not an old truck. And he's like, here's your truck. And I couldn't believe it. And Jeffrey has photos of that day.
Wow.
I can't believe it. Oh, hi, Autumn. I can see you. Hey.
Oh, hey, you couldn't see me the whole time?
No.
Oh my
I
gosh,
saw
I was
Jeffrey.
waving to you.
Hello.
So good to see you. I've had the biggest smile on my face this entire call. I'm so proud of you, Tyler.
You know what? I'm more proud of you because I looked you up last night. Jeffrey was like, hey, you remember Jen? Like, when he started this, he's like, you remember Jen? I was like, yeah. She's like, she goes by Autumn Night. I was like, cool. I'm gonna look her up on Spotify. And I was like, oh, and I listened to you a whole night. Me and my girlfriend listened to you all night. I was like, that's pretty dope.
Oh my, thank you for listening to it. You guys dig it? That's, wow.
She does. She does.
Amazing.
I like it. She was like, oh, this is cool. And she does this little hand thing when she's in the groove.
She was dancing. Wow. Yeah, so Autumn's my middle name, so that's what I'm using now, and that's how I introduce myself. It's so good to see you. You look amazing, and I just couldn't be prouder. Wow. You look so great. All grown up. I mean, to think back to our days at Storefront and to where you are now, it's truly, truly unbelievable. And you should, just be so proud. And you're an inspiration for so many others.
And I cannot thank you enough because you helped mold it. You helped me succeed where I'm at. Without you coming back and back and back, I would have never paid it forward like I do. You're one of the first consistent mentors and adults in my life. So that really showed that I can trust, especially a female mentor, because me and my mom had a rocky upbringing because she was on drugs and and it made my life really horrible, and I didn't have a really good female mentor, and you were there consistently, and it was like having that older sister that you needed to talk to or vent to, and you were there consistently. So I thank you, and I thank you.
It was my honor. And, it's just, you're living proof that you don't have to use your past as an excuse. And you made that choice to go in a more positive direction with your life. And you've probably influenced so many other teens to do the same. And I just remember we had so much fun. Every week was we had fun, and that's what music's all about. And from day one, Tyler, you always had the most amazing spirit. And you showed me just within the first 2 music classes, you showed me what an unbelievable natural leader you are. You really helped bring everybody together. We were just there to help encourage and to help guide. But I just remember all the amazing conversations we would have. And you were a role model to a lot of those teens before you even knew it. And I remember at the shows too, all the big concerts we would do every year, you always brought the positive energy. You're always just enthusiastic. Maybe some of the other teens were having a hard day and you were just like, all right, let's do this. I just remember you were always very grateful too. And gratitude takes you so far. And to have that spirit and to be in that headspace at such a young age, to be grateful, considering all the craziness and trauma that you went through prior, that alone is huge, Tyler. So you've always had just this precious spirit, and I couldn't be prouder than you. I couldn't be prouder. You know, I'm just getting emotional even talking about it, you know, just it brings tears in my eyes, happy tears, just to see how far you've come. And it's interesting how music was the catalyst. Music is what brought us together. And thank God Jeffrey, you know, started Photo Charity, which is now Doors of Change, and it brought us all together. But, you know, you also showed dedication. You were there every week and you brought the enthusiasm, like I said. So, you know, it takes a team, you know, to make this all happen. And it's unbelievable to see where you are now.
Yeah.
How does it feel, Jen, when you have put your effort forth in a loving way to help as a volunteer, not to get anything back in return, just to help, and to see, you know, did I really make a difference in someone's life by doing this volunteer work as long as you did? 3 years, I think, with us.
Yeah.
How does it feel now seeing 15 years down the road, what the ripple effect of that help is?
It's proof that, you know, dedication, perseverance, and being around the right mentorship can truly change the path of your life. And music has the power to heal. Music was what brought us all together. When I did the one-on-one guitar lessons, when I did the piano coaching, when I was teaching them how to sing and picking their favorite cover song to learn, it instilled trust so quickly, which was the hardest thing to achieve right away, right? And, you know, my mind is blown with all these success stories. Tyler, Justine, the list goes on and on. And, you know, it's just, I want to do everything possible to continue to help other teens and young adults take a better path.
You know, Tyler, we've seen thousands of youth over 19 years. We've helped 2,000 get off the streets and housing. But there's very few youth that really rise, that are the leaders, that become self-sufficient to a high level of leadership. And when you look back at yourself and you say, you know, what made you go from homelessness to very successful? Do you have, I mean, looking back, what really made you, what were the key things that made you to the point where you were successful in anything you've done with working over the last 10 years? Actually, 14 years.
What's one of the one things?
Couple things.
That showing hard work pays off.
Mm-hmm.
Watching people grow in their lives. So you know how each of the mentors or the staff that was at Storefront, you know, they were on their own journeys also. So there was a couple of them that were in school and, you know, trying to get degrees and things, and yet they were still working with us. Like Autumn, she has a music career and she was still continuing to do that, but came to help us. And there's a couple social workers there that are working on their bachelors, and they were still continuing to give back. And it's things like that hey, even though I'm at work, I'm still succeeding and trying to push forward to make my life better, but I'm also helping you. And it's those key things that really set in the back of my mind that has helped me grow in my careers. Is, you know, if no matter how hard you're working in life, there's always time to help someone else. You always have time to slow down enough to give back to somebody, because you need to affect at least one person in your life for the better, right? So you don't know who it's going to be or when it's going to come. It's just, if you continually to do it, you're going to hit that one person, you're going to touch that one person. Like you guys didn't know what kid was going to come, who is it going to be, or whatever. but you had me and Justine, and we both came in the storefront 2 different times. And we both have 2 different things. Justine's in her art and making things and, you know, and drawing and painting. And I was in music. 2 different paths, 2 different instructors, 2 lives changed, but both instructors were doing the same thing. They were both giving back. They didn't know who they were going to affect. And that's what I like to keep giving forward to is I don't know who I'm going to affect or when I'm going to affect them. That if I keep doing it, I can affect one person or I can affect many. You know what I mean? So those are the things that I hold true to myself is if I keep giving back, I'm going to affect somebody for the better.
You're changing lives. You've changed so many lives.
And it started with you.
Thank you. It's so cool how music brought us all together, you know, and thank God Jeffrey brought us all together. But, you know, it's just, my mind is blown with just your success story, Tyler. And you've probably inspired more people than you even realize. Like, it's just truly amazing. Do you play music at all anymore for fun, or?
I actually have 3 guitars in my house right now. I have a classic, I have 2 acoustic, and I play, you know how music is an outlet in stressful days.
Yeah.
I work 12-hour shifts. When I work 12-hour shifts, or I was deployed for 63 days for FEMA for COVID, and I was away from home. I was in a hotel, and we were quarantined. I couldn't go anywhere. It was shuttled from the hotel to work in a quarantine bubble. I couldn't go nowhere. Everything was brought to me, and the only thing I had was a guitar, and I played and listened to music and learned some new songs, and it's things like that. And music is that one thing, that universal language that everyone talks about. No matter where you come from, what you're doing, music can always bring each other together.
It's the universal language. Yeah. And wow. So not only did music help you at storefront and, you know, throughout your future, but also during COVID, it was really instrumental in being very therapeutic for you during COVID. That's awesome. Thank God you have your guitar with you.
Right.
You know?
And you know, with COVID, since we can't play concerts, we can't go to concerts together, and we have to do something. You have to hear that authentic sound live. You know more than I do, but that sound of live music, and you just miss it. So
I know the touring will be so busy next year. I have a feeling, you know, when things reopen, when it's safe, hopefully by spring, summer at the latest. But there will be drive-in concerts. There'll be so many opportunities for artists to still get the music out there, you know, and not just virtually, but, you know, safely in person. You know, the world needs that energy, you know, because as an artist, you know, I thrive off the energy of the crowd, just like, you know, when the fan is watching their favorite artist live. It's just the best feeling in the world. And you can do that virtually temporarily, but you know, the live music scene needs to reopen. So it will, and it'll be the busiest it's ever been.
Yep.
Safely. Yeah, drive-in concerts I think are really encouraging, and we'll continue to do as many virtual concerts, you know, as possible. I loved being part of the virtual concert at Hope for Doors of Change in May. That was so much fun. And Jeffrey, thank you for organizing that, because it was so cool. It was like 3 artists each day. Everyone spoke, everyone sang, and it was such a good time. Yeah. And the main thing right now is just continuing to spread awareness, which, you know, thank God for technology, right? Thank God we still have technology as a platform to continue to do so. And then bring on the live shows, 2021.
Hey, Tyler, if you thought 15 years ago we found you under the Imperial Street Bridge, the pier, right? And you went to the shelter. 15 years afterwards, you're successful beyond belief. Look at the camera and think about a youth now that's on the streets, that just literally is coming to our program this week, that doesn't trust anybody, that, you know, doesn't see a way out. what do you have to say to them as far as the experience that you've had with this program over the years, where you are now? What would you say to them, to a homeless youth?
Open your heart. Open your heart. It is going to be hard to trust somebody that you don't know, but know for a fact that if you're coming into our program, any person you run into, staff member, mentor, volunteer, open your heart to them. They will be there to help you succeed, wipe your tears, give you a hug, give you music, an art, give you a path to let yourself go and learn that it's not all bad. The world is not all bad. Give them a chance. That's what I say to them.
And one last thing, it's been very difficult during COVID with, for many nonprofits, including ours. What would you say to a donor after what you know after 15 years of being in this program and now being successful on your own? What would you say to a donor? Why is it important that they donate to Doors of Change, even during a difficult time right now, so we can help more youth get off the streets?
I am a 911 dispatcher. My medics, my EMTs, my nurses, my firefighters, they are what everyone dubs as essential workers. Our nonprofits, our program, our staff members, our volunteers, they are also non-essentials. Our lives, youth homelessness does not stop because of COVID. We have to go inside, we have to quarantine, stay home is what everyone tells us. They don't have homes. We need our programs to continue to thrive. Our workers, our Jeffrey and everyone down the line, they are essential workers, just like I am. Don't stop donating. They need to continue to provide what I was given before COVID, was love and affection and hugs and music. Those don't stop because of COVID. Those teens are still out there on the streets. I see them. My medics see them. The firefighters see them. It doesn't stop because of COVID. I'm an essential worker. Our nonprofits also non-essential workers, and they need to continue.
Who's got a question?
I do. Tyler, first of all, for all of you, it's amazing what you've all achieved. So Jeffrey, congrats to launching this amazing program. And of course to Autumn and everybody and seeing the success of Tyler's. Tyler, it sounds like there is some leadership in you from the early days, and Autumn sensed it when she met you. I'm just curious, did you ever feel in your days of homelessness that there was something more, that you knew there was more for you to be doing in this world?
Not when I was homeless. I only achieved that feeling when I got to the program. That first week, that one you guys have to give me. We were going through a lot of stuff. After that week, and that second week was the precedence to show, hey, this can be consistent. That third week kept showing it. I was like, oh, okay. And then everyone started going, hey, you're going to music program? Hey, Tyler, you're going to the music program? You going? Yeah, I'm going. Oh, I'm going to go too. Come on, let's go. And show up. And what I said is, I always wanted to be happy. I always like being happy. I'm the happy guy. And, Good vibes, music, push everybody. Hey, let's go. We're going to go do this. And then that started showing, hey, maybe if I commit, I can be a leader. And then when I started working and I got that truck, I was like, hey, I could push forward and start being a supervisor. And that's when they promoted me. I got promoted at 19 to a supervisor. I was supervising people that were twice my age.
And you had a very important position, security at these huge venues.
Yeah.
How did you choose that for your career? That's so inspiring and wonderful.
That was provided by the program. So in California, you have to have a licensed guard card. And the charity gave it to me. They helped give me the guard card. It was a lot of money to get the guard card, and they paid for it. And then I got the career, and without them helping me achieve that guard card, that license, I would have never succeeded. So it all came from them. It came from the charity group. Everything that I have grown to and succeeded at in my career has been because of this. I would have never achieved it without them.
That's amazing. Well, for everybody that's going to be seeing this, they should all donate. The success story is incredible. And again, Jeffrey and Autumn, it must be so rewarding to watch this years later and see how Tyler continues to give back based on your training.
Well, he knows that I love him very much. I've told him for 15 years and that we're not going anywhere. You can always call me, always, if you have an issue, and also for good stuff. But because he is such a giver, and when he came to me and said, will you get the guard card for me? I think it was like $400. Because he was such a giver and his track record showed me he deserved it. He never said no to me. And you're right, Autumn, that he is a true role model for so many people. He's spoken at dozens of events, and people get tears in their eyes when they hear him speak. Yeah. The youth that I introduced him to at the home, when we had homes, and Tyler would go and meet him, they would just be blown away because he was so real. And they said, this is who I want to be like. Yep. So he has been such a mentor just by his example. And that's why I love him so much, because he's 100%, all there. There's no BS with Tyler. It's 100% real, and he's a giver. And he showed that by coming to the shelter 2 weeks after he was let go. He kept coming back to help others. That showed us who he was.
Yep. He walks the talk. And you've done it, forever. And I, just to be a positive example that you can change the direction of your life, because some of these kids have completely given up, and you could have given up, and you made that conscious decision. No, I'm gonna create a better future for myself. But I truly believe that you have just this incredible spirit that you were born with, and with the help of music and Jeffrey and Photo Charity, Doors of Change, it just helped bring it out more. But you should be so proud, and I'm sure all your friends around you are just in awe of you as well. Do you talk with any of the teens from the shelter at all?
I talked to Matt Coyne.
Cool.
I talked to Matt. Justine once in a while. So, cool. But the thing I'm happy about is that we didn't all follow the same line, but we've all succeeded. We've all gone on our own different paths, but we've all succeeded, but we all started at one certain point. So it not only has affected our lives individually, but it affected society in me, for myself, Justine, and Matt, 3 different career paths, 3 different societies, all have been affected by it. And that just grows and grows and grows. So I'm very grateful and happy where I'm at. I mean, right now, I still live in Imperial Beach, but I live in an apartment a block away from the pier. So I'm very stoked to where I'm at, and I'm just very grateful and happy that the people I've met in my life had helped me grow as a person, as a man. So.
Yeah, and you've shown that dedication. You're one of the strongest people I know. And what's so special about you, Tyler, is you showed dedication from day one, and here we are 15 years later, and look where you are. The consistent dedication, which will then carry on for the rest of your life. So it's truly unbelievable, and thank God for music, and thank God Jeffrey brought us together. I have some of the best memories going to Storefront. We just, like I said earlier in this call, we had fun. We had the best time, and that's what it's all about. These kids have been through hell and back. They don't deserve to be in the position that they're in. And music brought us together, Photo Charity, Doors of Change. And then from there, it was up to them on the path they wanted to lead. And you chose this unbelievable path. And, you know, and you're a hard worker. You've been a hard worker from day one.
And that, and that, now that I think about it, now that you just said that, I just remembered the first step I took. And what, you know, you have that one jump off point, and it's a decision that you just reminded me of. So that decision is either I can step forward in the right direction or I can go back.
Yep.
And I took that first step forward and I haven't stopped. And it's that pinnacle point in life where I could have gone way off the deep end, but I
100%.
didn't. And it's
because you made that choice. I just get teary-eyed, you know, like, like it's just really amazing. And
I have this. So this is from 2007.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Like, oh.
Wait, what is that? Can you show that to us again?
I don't know. Is my camera backwards? It's backwards.
No, it's good.
Okay. So this is from 2007.
Yeah.
This is actually one of the first awards I ever got in my life. And now I have a couple of them, and then I have a couple from my career paths. So like Elite gave me Supervisor of the Year, and AMR's given me some awards, and this is my very first one. I was from Florida Charity, and showed that with perseverance and dedication, I can achieve things. So I keep this one's always at least by my door. So, and if I ever get an office, it'll be in my office.
You'll have one, and it'll probably be on the back wall. All of those.
Yep.
So
We are so proud of you, Tyler. Everybody that knows you, because you are blue collar mentality. You're a hard worker. You do not stop. I love when you said about the lessons gave you the skills, the life skills to be successful in anything you do in life. And karma is real, because Tyler's been a giver for 15 years, helping Doors of Change. Whenever I ask him, he has never said no to me to go in public speaking, on TV, concerts. He speaks in front of a couple thousand people. It doesn't matter. Well, God gave him a wonderful partner, Eileen, who's absolutely wonderful, and he deserves it. And they're so wonderful together. And because you're such a great person, Tyler, see, it comes back to you tenfold.
Yeah, and me being, at least with me being consistent, she knows I have no problem with commitment issues.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well.
So what just for those that are still unfortunately in the homeless situation, and they're at a point where, as you said, you can make that decision to go one way or the other, what words of advice and encouragement and a mindset shift would you offer them?
The things you dream of are not out of reach. You just have to step forward towards it. Don't take a step back. It's not behind you. It's never behind you. You learn from the past, you embrace yourself in the present, and you look forward to the future, and just keep going towards it. Your goals are in front of you, never behind. Keep going forward.
And you are the success story and the role model, in addition to everybody else here on the Zoom call. And to Jeffrey's point, you showed up today, so thank you. We put this together kind of a last minute, and Zoom made it happen, and so did you.
Yeah.
I just want to thank you all for being here, truthfully, and sharing your stories. And this hopefully will touch other people, so we can get more youth the opportunity to get off the streets with hard work. It takes hard work. And Tyler is the role model for hard work. And that's why I love him so much, because I know that he will give 110% with whatever he does. And many of that is helping others. And so I'm just so appreciative of who he is, his leadership, so proud of him. And, you know, you have made a difference in this world, Tyler, and you'll continue to make a difference because you lead by example. So thank you all so much for being here. And please, if you see this and you're touched, take action. Because if you don't take action, it doesn't mean anything. Go to doorsofchange.org and be an Angel Team member. That means for $11 a month, minimum, 36 cents a day, you can be an Angel Team member and help more youth like Tyler have an opportunity to get the services that they need to help themselves get off the streets and be self-sufficient and be role models for others to follow. Doorsofchange.org, Angel Team. We appreciate you guys very much. Love you, Tyler, and thank you for being a role model.
You're welcome.
So nice to meet you, Tyler.
It's nice to meet you.
Tyler,
Nice to see you, Autumn.
yeah, it's so good to see you. Literally made my day seeing your shining smile. Keep up the great work. Keep up the great work. And when the live shows are happening next year, you'll be VIP backstage.
Dope. If you ever need to security, I got me and my best friend.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
we will be down to tour with you in your security. Hey, we're here. Me and my best friend. We're both down. I'm experiencing it. It's all I've ever done.
Amazing.
Look at that. We've got Tyler in the middle, Autumn on the right, Jeffrey on the left, and there it is, the two people that influenced your life all together here. And just that one contact made such a huge difference in your life.
Yep. I could not be any more grateful of where I am without them. So.
All righty. So I guess we'll be seeing you on tour and working with Autumn on her next huge concert.
I'm available.
And Jeffrey will be in the front seat, of course.
Well,
yeah,
it's a pleasure to be with everybody. Thank you so much. Okay.
Thanks
Have
for
a
hosting
healthy,
it.
good year for you and your families.
Thanks, Jeffrey.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Take care.